Randy, I'm still wearing my expandable pants.
Good idea. Me too.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Well, there's something to be said for that fashion statement, and this time of year, I think a lot of us have that in mind. So, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, my friend.
Oh, Lord,
Back
I'll
at
tell
it
you the
again
story.
on a Monday.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina. If you don't know by now, we run our professional center. Been doing it for a little over 10 years now, based out of Winston. We work with professionals that might be in a job hunt. Totally free, work by appointment. So find me on LinkedIn and we'll get you on the calendar. But a couple of times a week, I get together with my friend Teddy Burriss and we talk tips, and our guest coming up on Wednesday. And then Wednesday's our big show. But today we get together and share some ideas and a little trivia. And Teddy, I might stump you this week. So I've been working hard on it.
Yeah, good stuff. Good. Before you do share your crack research,
Yeah.
you've never met me. I'm Teddy. I run a business called Burriss Consulting. We teach LinkedIn as a business tool, not as a social media tool. We teach Google Workspace as business tools. We love to get in front of an audience and help them think a little bit differently about LinkedIn and Google. And I show up all over the place. Randy, globally, I show up, dude. And actually, in my mind, had invites to go to Mars and teach this stuff. But besides the business where I make, again, in my mind, multi-million-dollars a year doing this stuff.
Beautiful.
Every week, Randy and I get together. We have a little fun. We cut up, and we play, we joke, we tell stories, share some tips, and then we'll tell you about our special guest coming up on Wednesday, 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
I know it was the holidays, dude, but you're still obligated to do that work. So what work did you do?
Always. We always talk births, deaths, and events on this date in history, the 28th of November. And I mix in a little trivia, see if I can stump Mr. Burriss over there. So let's get at it. Remember back when we were kids, how great Motown was and all of the music coming out of Motown? I mean, that was just a great, great time. I still listen to it a lot. When I can, and entering with Berry Gordy, born in the state, 1929. He's 92. Is that right? 92. Yeah. Anyway, maybe 93 by now. But he was the founder and is the founder of Motown Records. Jon Stewart. Remember the Daily Show? Jon Stewart. Yep. 1962.
Is he no longer doing work on TV?
I'm not sure. I know he's not doing that show, but I think he still pops in and does different. I just don't follow. I didn't follow it when he was on the show necessarily, but I mean, he had a nice run there with the Daily Show. All right, so here's a little bit of trivia for you. This woman was born 1853. Her name is Helen White, and she was born in Providence, Rhode Island, as we like to say. Yeah, Providence, Rhode Island, back in the day. She's the first woman in the U.S. to do something.
Helen White, Providence, Rhode Island, in the 1800s. Did she create White Castle hamburgers?
No, that was a different White. Yeah, she was the first woman in the U.S. to earn a PhD.
Oh, smart lady.
Yeah, no doubt. So me being not the smart guy, I had to look up exactly what does PhD stand for. We've talked it for years and years. We hear I have a BA, Bachelor of Arts, but what does PhD stand for? Obviously, I never earned that designation, but I'll spare you the embarrassment because I had to look it up just to make sure.
Is it something doctorate?
It's Doctor of Philosophy. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are a medical doctor, and it doesn't mean that you study philosophy, but it's the highest ranking or the highest level of education you can earn in your chosen field of study. So now you know. Deaths on this date. The infamous Jeffrey Dahmer passed away on this date. Not peacefully, I should add.
That just eats me up.
1954. Remember him? Serial killer.
Yeah,
they got him in prison and in good riddance, But anyway, so he was murdered on this date, or whatever you want to call it, put to rest, put down might be a better way to put it, in 1994. All right, here's one for you. This guy died in 1939. You've heard the name James Naismith.
Naismith. I know that.
Canadian and American. He was a phys ed teacher and an inventor. most people know him because he invented basketball,
Yes.
peach baskets and all that stuff. But here's something you don't know. He also invented something else. Nobody knows. I didn't know this.
Sports related?
Yeah, sports related. A pretty important piece of equipment, by the way.
Hockey stick.
Close. The football helmet. Protect the old noggin. Well, yeah, because back in the day, I mean, we don't need no stinking helmets. Let's get at it. But that's another thing that Naismith put out there. Events on this date in history: New Zealand became the first country in the world to allow women the right to vote in their national elections. This was back in 1893. The Grand Ole Opry premiered in 1925. Briefcase Full of Blues. Remember that with Belushi and Aykroyd and the Blues Brothers? And
oh man, I love that stuff.
Oh, I still have that album.
Yeah,
somewhere in the man cave. You know what? That was 1978, and is apparently still the #1 selling blues album of all time. And these guys were just a comedy act that said, "Hey, let's throw it together and put on a few shows." Yeah. But they were huge stars. All right, got a trivia one for you. Did
they do Rubber Biscuit?
They did, yeah. Rubber Biscuit. Yep, that was them. Yeah, but all the songs they did were remakes of actual blues songs. They didn't really do anything new that I know of. All right, so here's one for you. Remember, cars came around in the late 1800s. Motor cars or motorcycles, I think they were called at first, or something like that. Anyway, on this date in 1895,
horseless carriage.
What?
Horseless carriage.
Yes, that was another term for it.
Yeah.
All right. So the year was 1895. America's first auto race took place in Illinois. Now, cars had only been around for just a very, very few years, and there were 6 cars entered in this race. And they raced for 55 miles. The winner got $2,000. But here's my question.
Whoa.
How fast did the winner go?
1895.
1895. Miles per hour.
And by the way, it didn't make a difference how fast they were going. These were a bunch of dudes that said, my car's faster than yours, man.
Yeah.
27 miles per hour.
Divide by about 4, and you got it. They averaged 7 miles an hour. It took them almost 8 hours to go 55 miles. It sounds like you and your traffic with the holidays.
I was going to tell you.
I mean, it's great. You can run faster than that. Hey, I beat you. Sorry. But anyway, think about it too. That had to be just a huge change, just like air flight when you first saw people take off, and just the not having the control that you think you have if you're running, or if you have horses where you feel like you know how to use it. Suddenly here's self-propelled kind of stuff. So anyway, moving on, but that's the deal on this date in history, Teddy. And a quick story for you. Got one for you just real quick.
I'm going to give you a 6% pay raise, buddy. That was fabulous work, man.
I thought that was pretty cool. 6 cars got together and raced. It took the winner 7 hours and 53 minutes to go 55 miles.
$2,000, man. That's a boatload of money.
It is. Yeah. I don't know what it is today, but it's a nice chunk. So the story, just real quick, the names will be redacted here to protect the innocent or whatever. And I was going to do a different story, but I'm going to change it up because I have 2 Thanksgiving stories. And one of them, just to give you an idea, I guess, of the kindness and generosity that people have. It was my very first, I think, Thanksgiving after I got out of college. And I was actually working at a radio station and had, doing nightclub work and that kind of thing, and didn't have a family there, a single guy, that kind of thing. So one of my coworkers at the nightclub, she invited not just me, but there was a woman that worked there who was also single, and invited us to share Thanksgiving with her and her mom, who lived in a trailer out in the middle of Lord knows where in Ohio.
Yeah.
And so here the 3 of us drove to her mom's house. It was a trailer. So we're all scrunched in.
Yeah.
And, the mom cooked a meal, and it was nothing great. It was not a fabulous, we had paper plates and, the whole deal, but it was just the idea of being able to be together and to reach out and be thankful for what you have, even if you don't have a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember the kindness that was shown to me. And I'm not perfect, but I try to do the right thing. And I've remembered all these years later. So
Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of a good story. Yeah.
It's what it's all about, buddy. It's what it's all about. So, all right, here's my story, man. And it sort of ties to your racing story a little bit.
Yeah.
But I drove to Maryland last Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
That was a fiasco. But I drove home on Sunday during the day. Yesterday during the day. Randy, bumper to bumper traffic because everybody's trying to get away from grandma now and get home. Here's what I saw. It was very, very telling. And I don't know why, but I saw this. I saw cars full of happy people.
Yeah.
And cars full of sad people. And I'm like, wow, that's really pretty clear to me. The happy people, why were they happy? Are they happy because they had a great time? Maybe, hopefully. Are they happy because they're getting away from that crazy people? Maybe. And then there's the sad people. There's also two perspectives there. Are they sad because they're leaving great people? Or are they sad because they're going to miss those great people? Did I say it right or say it wrong? Are they sad because they hung out with really where they didn't want to be? Or are they sad because they're leaving really good people?
Yeah.
Really telling. And so what it just says to me is, ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you going where you're going? Why are you spending the holidays with that group of people? Is there some way that you can make it better for you so you're driving up happy and driving back happy?
Ideally.
Yeah, it was pretty telling, man, all the way down the road. I saw the guy who was smoking a joint, and another guy looked like he was drinking a beer. I'm joking. You could see it, man, all the way down the road. So
yeah.
All right.
Hey, good guest coming up, right?
Yeah, this is going to be a good conversation. Jon Lowder, a friend of mine from the Greensboro, North Carolina area. I can't remember John's exact title, but John's going to join us, and the conversation is going to be all about the housing market. John's the president of the Triad Real Estate and Building Industry Coalition. And Building Industry Coalition. And he's going to come talk to us about what's going on in the housing market. Well, how is the Great Recession impacting housing? Why are we out of homes? What's going to be the ripple effect of, not enough real estate for everybody and the ripple effect of the prices? It's going to be a great conversation. And it's really not just relevant to the Triad, it's relevant to the country. So 11:55 a.m. Wednesday. Join us. I can promise you that it'll be well worth your time to be there.
I think so. Hey, got a quick tip for you. And I say this every year, so, it's nothing new. But, hey, we're into the holiday season now. We're past Thanksgiving. We're staring, Christmas and other holidays right down the road. So don't give up the search effort if you're in a job search. You continue to network. You might say, hey, nobody's hiring now, this and that. Well, they are. There's still jobs out there. And even if the job for you is not out there right now, you still want to be front of mind with your target companies. You still want to work your network. And you know what? Even if you interview for jobs that maybe aren't a great fit, it's still interview practice. So to the extent you can devote time and to maintain that momentum, you want to make sure you do it.
It's all about the conversation.
Yeah.
You never know where it's going to happen. All right. Here's my tip, Randy. It's going to be a little different, buddy. But my tips are worth gold. I mean, they're really worth.
That's what you tell me.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. Take your water hose off your spigot outside and turn your bird bath on the side. I know from firsthand experience, if you leave that hose hooked up and the water on, that puppy's going to freeze up, and three things are going to happen. Number one is the hose might bust. Number two, the spigot might bust. Number three, you're going to call the plumber with an emergency situation. So take those hoses off. As far as the bird baths, take those and put them on their side. Two things. Number one, the bird bath can crack. I know this myself. The ice freezes in there and cracks it all up, makes it ugly. Secondly, I have never met a bird that wants to take a bath in the middle of the winter.
No.
Those are my
I think,
tips.
yeah, I think they avoid those. They're too cold.
And go to
Anyway,
car washes.
yeah, sure. Roll around there. Do that. Hey, Teddy, looking forward to Wednesday, man.
All right, buddy. You take care, man. I will chat with you later on.
All right. See
Bye
you.
bye.